Live. Dave, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, you just said I'm Dave.
Okay, so you're Dave,
I'm
but
Dave.
And how old are you?
53.
Okay, you're 53, and I met you through medical respite. I was in the hospital. They were going to have me out the day I couldn't get any cigarettes. I couldn't come here. You helped me get some cigarettes with GoPuff. I paid you back with a pack of cigarettes, and I smoked you up a little bit with cigarettes. Yeah, that was the day before I got to respite. Okay, I went back to my hotel room, and the next day, about 1 p.m., they brought me over, and I already had my cigarettes and stuff. But you helped me, which was nice, because they're making it harder and harder for smokers to get stuff. And you and I have been probably for a couple of months or something in respite together. And I'd seen you on the street, but I didn't know you got cashed out. There's just a revolving door there, man, and I don't recognize. Okay, but the point is, yeah, you got discharged. And the thing is, unless somebody tells me they're discharged, I don't know. And they're just people I see and people I haven't seen in a while. And if I ask somebody, hey, where's so-and-so, they're like, I can't tell you. Because, I can't verify that this person was ever here.
Sure.
Because of HIPAA. Because of HIPAA. Yeah. Now, you had an infection on your leg. Is it anywhere else? Or?
So here's what started off with me. 8 months to a year ago, I noticed that my right calf was swollen, just really, really swollen. Probably as big as your thigh almost. And it wasn't hurting me, it wasn't bothering me. I just kind of ignored it.
Did they tell you it was cellulitis?
I hadn't seen anybody yet.
Okay.
Nobody said anything about cellulitis. Nobody said anything about MRSA, none of that. I just ignored it for a while because it wasn't hurting. I thought it would go away. It didn't go away. So one morning I woke up and actually before that, as it got big, real big, it started itching. So, I had to scratch it. Anyways, the next one morning I woke up and there were these weird sores. One of them actually looked like a puzzle piece. And there was another one up above, a round one. And they were really deep. I didn't really know them until I looked at that. The doctor had told me that all the blood, because I had found out prior to that I did have a blood clot.
Yeah.
I found out that that's why my leg swelled up. It was from a blood clot.
And they're supposed, at respite, they're supposed to keep you until your wound is clean.
See, well, I'm not even at respite yet.
Okay.
We're not at respite yet.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, what?
When I
tell you're 85%.
When I went, I got the infections, and the doctor told me that the reason why I got the sores was because the blood had pooled in my calf.
Right.
It kind of pooled in there, stayed there.
Right.
Then it cycled back up into my liver, get cleaned and all that. So that blood in there got poisoned. Stayed in there and just got septic.
Right.
And it started an infection my blood was infected now. And it created a sore from the inside out. This looked like a puzzle piece, and this one was like as deep as my thumb. And as big as my thumb. So it's somewhat healed, but what it didn't do, it wasn't draining like it is now. Right now, see this here? It's draining this yellowish, nasty shit.
And
okay, now in respite, so I was going to this clinic. It's called Engage Clinic. It's at by Catholic Community Services in Kent, Washington.
Okay.
And they referred me to respite to get
medical respite, right?
Harborview respite, so that I can get wound care every day. And they put me on another regimen of antibiotics. Cipro or some stuff like that.
Cipro, yeah. It's probably Cipro. And that's a very dangerous antibiotic.
There was a big oval white pill and a green, two-tone green capsule. 2 different kinds that they had me on. 1 week supply. I took those. The infection was going away. It looked good. It was healing fast. And they were talking about a possible discharge date, but they wanted to make sure that I wasn't having any more dangerous clotting.
Right.
So I had gone through several doctor's appointments where I had respiratory, and then I had circulatory. And they did all these tests to see, they listened to the blood flow, and this one confirmed that I still had blood clotting from the knee to the groin. And it was in the femoral artery. Well, I ended up with some chest pain while that rested, so they rushed me over to the emergency. They did all the tests. They put me in through CAT scan. That CAT scan said that that one blood clot had gotten into my left lung. So now the dangerous level, we're back up to danger. But no clotting into the right or left leg, just still clotting in here. Now, right now, as I stand, my my foot.
You can curse. You can
my
curse.
foot hurts terribly bad right now, and that's because I'm standing up.
Right.
Everything is going down there, and it's like all the fluids of blood rushing down there, and it hurts. It's throbbing, or not throbbing, but a constant pain. Kevin, pick up your phone. So, anyways, respite, bring you up to speed. Respite discharged me.
Right. How long ago?
3 weeks.
And 3 weeks ago? And how long were you in respite before they discharged you?
A couple months.
Okay.
And this comes, it's funny because this comes right as when I went in for that emergency thing, they did that CAT scan on me.
Yeah.
They told me that I had pneumonia.
Yeah.
Okay. So they give me a new set of antibiotics, the same kind. Let me backpedal a little bit. Because I was still blood clotting.
Yeah.
They wanted to get away with the Eliquis pills.
Right.
And they put me on a 2-week regimen of something, I don't know what it's called, but I had to do injections every 12 hours in my stomach for 2 weeks. Right. To thin my blood. Okay, so I did those, then they put me back on the pills. Started clotting again. But they still discharged me. Now, the very next day after being discharged, the infection went into my left leg. I noticed that my ankle, it was all red and itchy swollen. Not as bad, but the infection, not a blood clot, but an infection in the blood.
Right.
Still.
Can I see your other leg, or is it not really showing?
It's fine now.
Oh, it's fine now? Okay, then don't worry. Okay, sure.
Well, there's no, it's gone away.
Your right leg is obviously a lot redder.
Yeah, well, this has gone away. It started, this little skin here, that's from the infection starting.
Okay, and they knocked it, I'm guessing they knocked it out.
Yeah, it got knocked out.
And that's just the dead skin.
That's in that leg, though.
Right.
It's like, I got independent legs here.
Yeah, obviously you got major stuff going on.
Yeah, and this here, now I will admit, all this here scratching, this is from scratching. Because it is so bad, the scratching, and then it blistered up in areas where it didn't necessarily have to be scratched, but it was blistered up like a sunburn, and it started seeping all this mess out, right? And it's still doing it. So, respite released me, discharged me with still having an infection and knowing that I had blood clots. Right. Now, respite they assign everybody a case manager, right? Because I guess while you're there, you're supposed to be able to, they're supposed to be able to help you get housing. Right. My case manager went on vacation for 3 weeks prior to my getting out, being discharged, and she came back 2 days before I was discharged. Right. And the only thing she said to me was, "Good morning, Mr. Miller." They did not do anything as far as trying to get me some stable housing. They kicked me right back out onto the streets, and I'm sleeping on concrete every night. Nowhere to go, with an infected leg, sores that are taking forever to heal, and I probably still have pneumonia. And yes, I probably shouldn't be smoking, but I am. Yeah, so that's what's going on with me so far.
Well, thank you for answering my questions and showing your legs and stuff. And I'm hoping to talk to you again in the coming days and weeks, man. I'd like to hear more about you and your story, and I want to talk about addiction, and I want to talk about harm reduction and things like that, and I'm hoping we can talk about stuff like that.
Well, if any of this reaches into the right ears, man, hopefully something can be done about getting into, getting people such as my friend here, Kevin, needing to get housing. Me, needing to get housing. This gentleman here. We're all sitting out here with injuries that won't heal because we don't have proper care. We need to be stable. Like when we were in the respite, we were thriving because we had stability. We had a place to put our stuff. We had a place to lay our head, and we were thriving. We were healing. We were good. We were happy. We were in good moods, and now we're stuck out here crying the blues. When a person has stability, a place to live, a place to lay and rest his head, put his belongings so he doesn't have to worry about them getting stolen, life is better. Life is better. But if those are the powers that be seem like they don't care about life, they just care about liability.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very eloquently put. Can I share a few thoughts with you?
Sure.
Okay, so there are things related to why certain people get discharged, and I'm not going to get into stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's what it ultimately boils down to is the optics and the property values and things like that, and protecting your little slice of America. Telling people, go across the street, go to the next block, get out of the park, don't smoke in front of the building.
Right.
Because they don't approve of what you do and what it makes some addicts do to each other and do to other people. Hang on. So what I'm saying is, what if we had not harm reduction? What if we had harm elimination? What if we did it like Scandinavia and parts of Western Europe, where you get your methadone and you don't go out looking for Fetty and hustling and selling each other cigarettes, trying to make enough money to make what you need for the day. You get it on prescription. You get it from the nurse. You come back. Okay.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I give credit where credit's due.
Okay.
Respites, one thing that respite does for each individual that comes in, that it's addicted to, fentanyl and opiates or whatever. If you're not on the methadone program, they wake you up that very first morning that you're there, and they put you on the bus and they tell you to go down to the Methadone Clinic and get signed up.
Right.
Okay? So it's not like they're not trying to have that ultimate plan for you. But it's up to the person. Now, I've gone down there, I got put on methadone, and I got up to a dose that I was sort of comfortable with, but
that's my way of letting you know I have something to say when you. Okay.
I was a bit wrong when I said I'm not going to ask for another increase in my methadone. I was at 110 milligrams a day, but I think I should have went for a little bit more because I was still seeking the fentanyl to substitute for the lack of the methadone. And so the methadone would wear off, and I needed to go and get some fentanyl, but to take care of the pain. Now, I don't know if I fit that category of being discharged because of doing a certain thing. You're kind of leading me on to something that I'm not aware of. Telling me that I was discharged because I was doing drugs. Now, I always wanted to leave the area. I'd be the first one to say, I don't want to do nothing here. Because I didn't want to throw it in their face, They're there to help us, and I didn't want to kind of slap them in the face and make you feel like they're not helping me. They were helping me. But I was not there's only so much that they can do, or there's only so much that I can do. But when they go on vacation for 3 weeks, leave me to, when they discharged me, they didn't even give me any methadone to take with me.
Right.
Everybody else that gets discharged, they give them their regimen for their week. They made it to where I was released on the day that supplies come in, where I didn't get no methadone at all to walk away with. So I was stuck out here with nothing.
So
Yeah.
I want to talk about harm elimination, though. And that's where you get it on prescription. I can't help what people do when they walk out here. I know a lot of people start on methadone and then they develop a methadone problem to go with the much worse Fetty problem that they've already got.
We're talking about a what if.
Yeah, I know I'm talking about a what if, but I'm saying what if people would get it on prescription, they smoke it in a little room, and then they leave. When they've recovered, they leave. Like they do in Europe. They give it to them on prescription. I don't know what they do to help people wean off, but I know that the profit motive-based methadone clinics are not the answer, because they have no interest in curing anyone. They have no interest in helping anyone. I've seen them punish people with my own eyes. I've seen them take people down 10% and then take down people over 50%. And then they've got a problem, and it gets worse and worse, and they're looking at spending like a year doing a natural detox without what they need to get by, which is just going to make them relapse on Fetty. You can't have people treating people like that if all they're going to do is obsess about how much money they're making by keeping people on the rolls. They have to have genuine help getting off the rolls and start being judged by how they're helping people get off if that's what they want. And what I'm saying, radical as it is we don't force them to get off. We give them what they need. They tell them not to do anything stupid. And if they do something stupid, beyond a point, once you've hit 200 milligrams on your methadone, you're on your own.
Well, when you say we speak as if you're part of the admin program.
I'm saying I'm part of the people that are advocating for a change. That's what I'm talking about. Why can't we change things in our system of governance to be more compassionate and help people with very complicated problems instead of, you know what we're obsessed with? You ever hear like autism is a spectrum, love is a spectrum, gender is a spectrum, right?
I've never heard that.
Okay, well, you've heard about spectrums though, right? You never heard of autism as a spectrum? It basically means everybody's different, and just because one person has something doesn't mean another person has something. What I'm saying is, everything is a spectrum, but if you're locked into binary thinking, yes, no, if, or, you lock yourself into behavioral psychology and the punishment or reward dynamic. You know what I'm talking about, punishment and reward? Okay. The reward dynamic is Pavlov's dog. You ring a bell, the dog waters its mouth, you give the dog food, right? So the reward is the food in this case, or drugs, or whatever, or punishment, withholding the food, withholding the drugs. And I'm just saying, you need to stop looking at things in black and white, and you have to start examining each case individually. You can't be locked into one way of doing things, because in things like treating drug addiction or managing drug addiction or what have you, it's not one size fits all. It's not one size fits all. You've got to tailor it to a person's individual need. And places like methadone clinics are not going to listen to that kind of thinking. It's all punishment and reward. Punishment and reward.
I gotta sit down because my leg is hurting.
Okay, man. Well, we've been shooting for about 20 minutes. I'm going to turn this off. Thank you very much, Dave.